Welcome. My name is John C. Worthington, and this is part 5 of my spirit release about muscle testing of John's. Being a spirit release, whenever I use the word I, me, my, or myself, that's really my spirit saying that, and so that's not John Worthington, the human being, but that's my spirit saying that. I recommend that you listen to this from the beginning all the way through, but since freedom is very important with my physics, I recommend also that you freely choose to do what you freely choose. I also recommend that you muscle test me on this all, scientifically, empirically, by double-blinded standards that meet or exceed the current today methods of measuring what a physical event is within science, whether that be a muscle strength or weakness physical event, or a quantum event, or any other. This part 5 starts on March 1st, 2014 at 10:23 p.m. to 12:40 a.m. on the 2nd of March is when I wrote this, or when this was released to me. If you haven't listened to the first parts of the introduction, I recommend that you listen to the first parts of this release and the introduction. But again, freely choose as you freely choose, and muscle test me on it. Muscle testing lives as you free breathe, the same as how pure truth and freedom live as you free breathe, the same as I and the all live as you free breathe, the same as you, within absolute freedom and whole pure truth, live as you free breathe. Because muscle testing when you are not free breathing is not muscle testing accurately. For muscle testing must always be done only within the single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now. For the muscle testing to accurately measure what is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom within any now then now, future now, that you are now then now free breathing within. And muscle testing within. And muscle testing can measure actually what is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, which can then guide the human being to greater human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom within their self-life, as measured by self-life, as well as your accurate muscle tests. And so, muscle testing is a human measurement system that can accurately measure what exactly lives as human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, as well as what exactly lives as human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion within human beings and humanity, within any now then now, single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now, that now then now lives within the future, that lives after this release was first written and spoken by John for me. The universal spirit of the individual all, and the individual spirit of the universal all, which must always remain living within only the single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now, as the single solitary, one and only, always the same, forever eternal, never changing, all of health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, living within absolute freedom and whole pure truth, who is the all of freedom, pure truth, and pure truth freedom that exists as measurable human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom within human muscles, when human beings actually muscle test the health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, as well as the disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion of what is spoken and written within this release of mine and John's, by each and every human being who brings this release into the all of their now then now, free breathing, now then now, future, now then now, free breathing, now then now, by accurately muscle testing the health, strength, pure truth, and freedom of what has been then, now then, written and spoken within this then, now then release of John's and mine. And thus, muscle testing exists within humanity and human beings as a way to accurately measure the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom from the everything of human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion, so as to effectively hold the all's hand in return. Since the all includes all living forms, including human beings, including John and you, and including your hands and muscles. And since muscle testing includes you and your hands and muscles, muscle testing is the human equivalent of holding the all's hand in return, which manifests the greatest and very most human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom in return to you and your family and your community and your nation and your world and your universe and your all. That includes your universe, world, nation, community, family, and self. Or more simply, to your all. And furthermore, muscle testing accurately measures what is accurate muscle testing when accurately muscle testing what muscle testing is measuring accurately as human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, and as human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion. Accurate muscle testing can accurately measure what exactly is accurate muscle testing within human beings and humanity. And accurately measuring what exactly is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom from what exactly is human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion can create the very most and greatest human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, living as human utopia on planet Earth. And for living as human utopia on planet Earth and far, far, far beyond. For the all is the all of all living forms that exists and live throughout and as our universe, and that live and exist as and throughout the all that is the universal all of the individual spirit, as well as the individual all of the universal spirit, who is also then the same spirit of John and of you and of every other human being and all other living forms. And muscle testing is the equivalent of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom as physicalized into the living form that is you, the human being who is now, then now, hearing or reading this release by myself and John, and who then also starts to accurately muscle test for yourself what exactly exists as measurable human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom from what exactly exists as measurable human disease, weakness, false, and illusion within human beings and humanity, in order to manifest the greatest and very most human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom that can be humanly created within your self-life, which includes the self-life of your family, your community, your nation, your world, your universe, and your all that is also you, as you are a part of the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, living within absolute freedom and whole pure truth that must then include the everything of human disease, weakness, false, and illusion, living within the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth, as well as living as the lessons of learning the lessons of what exactly exists as human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, and what exactly exists as human disease, weakness, false, and illusion, which are the lessons of learning the lessons of loving, even hate, which is the most important lesson of being a human being, living within the very most and greatest human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. That is again simply the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. That is again simply the all of freedom, pure truth, and pure truth freedom, living within absolute freedom and whole pure truth. That is again simply the all of the universal all of the individual spirit and the individual all of the universal spirit, who is also your very own spirit, and who is the very own spirit of each and every other living form, and every single human being, including John, who then writes this for me, who then writes this for me, and the all. One more time. Including John, who then writes this for me and the all to you, now, whenever you now then now read or hear this spirit release of mine and John's, that was to you now then now written and spoken by John then now then, as I to you now then now spoke and wrote this then now then, which then to you now then now makes this when wrote and spoke to be a part of your now then, since this release was spoken and written by John for me at a time which then to you now then in one more time, which then to you now then now makes this when wrote and spoke to be a part of your now then, since this release was spoken and written by John for me at a time that when you hear or read this release will to you be in your now then now past, making this your now then, which then now then will live within the everything that is not always remaining, living within only the single solitary one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same momentary instant of the presently present, free breathing now, in which you should now muscle test the human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. This spirit release now, in which you should now muscle test the human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom of the spirit release of John's and the All's Spirit, who is also the spirit of each and every living form, including every single human being, including you, within your now then now, future present now, wherein you now then now hear or read the spirit release of ours. And therefore, now be free, by now being free, to now become pure truth and freedom, now becoming free pure truth and pure truth, freedom. Okay, I think we're going to go for one more. That was the end of that one on March 1st, March 2nd. And we had some releases and other stuff for a while. Excuse me, we had some issues and other stuff for a while. Really just issues and work and life stuff. And now on 3/16/2014 at 3:49 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. on that same day, I guess, we restart. Muscle testing exists as a living example of what is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, and what is human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion, which has been manifested as a living example of what can be understood as being the all of health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, living within absolute freedom and whole pure truth, that can be measured as human muscle strength when accurately muscle tested. And muscle testing lives as an existing example of what is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, and what is human disease, weakness, falsehood, and illusion, which has been physicalized into human muscle strength or weakness when accurately muscle tested. And muscle testing is both of these and very much more, because muscle testing has the likely potential to manifest much greater human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom in the form of what can only be understood as being the creation of human utopia on planet Earth within the upcoming now, then now, future, present now, in which this will then, now then, have been written and spoken in the now, then now past. As this now in which John speaks and writes this for me, John's spirit, who is also your spirit, and the spirit of all humanity, and of each and every other living form, will be to you, or anyone who ever reads or hears this release, something that was now then now written and spoken within your then now then past, making this release now then now a part of the everything, which is not always absolute freedom and whole pure truth. And so, to you and everyone else, whoever hears or reads the Spirit release. This release was released within your now then past, which then now would make this release to you and every other human being a release from your and their now then past, which now then makes this Spirit release a part of your and their now everything, that includes both pure truth and freedom and falsehood's illusion. For when you or anyone ever reads or hears the Spirit release, you or anyone will then be living within the now future, which now is to John and me now only the illusion of what the future may come to be. Now then. As the future in which you or anyone hears or reads the Spirit release is to John and me only the illusion of what the future may come to be. The same as to you or anyone now reading or hearing the Spirit release must understand that it was spoken and written within your and their now past. The same as to you or anyone now reading or hearing the Spirit release must understand that it was spoken and written within your and their now past, in which I and John then wrote and spoke this, and the now past in which John and I spoke and wrote this will then within your or anyone's now future present then be your or their past then, which will then now okay, we're going one more time with this, and the now past in which John and I spoke and wrote this will then within your or anyone's now future present then be your or their past then, which will now be a part of the everything that includes both pure truth and freedom and illusion's falsehood, living within the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth, that must always remain living within the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth, for the all to always remain absolute freedom and whole pure truth. So please, muscle test for yourself the human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom of the Spirit release of mine and John's, to be sure that it is still human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom when you, within your now, present, future, present, now, do actually hear or read the Spirit release of John's and mine, and therefore now be free by now being free to now become pure truth and freedom, now becoming free pure truth and pure truth, freedom. Okay, we're going for one more. Same date. Muscle testing lives as you breathe free within this very momentary instant in which you now, within your life, do hear or read the Spirit release of mine and John's. And muscle testing lives as you live within absolute freedom and whole pure truth within the all, as the understanding that the all must always remain absolute freedom and whole pure truth, by the inclusion of the everything that is less than absolute freedom and whole pure truth. Because to exclude the everything would be to exclude freedom, and to exclude freedom would be to exclude pure truth. For absolute freedom can only be absolute freedom within whole pure truth freedom, as whole pure truth can only be whole pure truth within absolute pure truth freedom. As pure truth freedom exists as only pure truth freedom within only pure truth freedom, that is, pure truth freedom within pure truth freedom, as anything that is other than pure truth freedom becomes the everything that is not pure truth freedom. But muscle testing can actually measure what is pure truth freedom and what is not pure truth freedom, which human beings who actually muscle test, and what is not pure truth freedom within human beings who actually muscle test. And muscle testing, what is pure truth freedom and what is not pure truth freedom within human beings and humanity is the best way for human beings and humanity to manifest the greatest human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom within their self-life, as well as within the self-life of each and every other human being and every single other living form, and within the self-life of the all. For the self-life of the all is the self-life of each and every single other living form, including human beings and John and you, as the self-life of you is the self-life of a part of the all, of self-life that lives as a physicalized living form, known to humanity as our universe, and that lives as our universe, known to humanity as that which is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. By many given names and with many given forms, and along with many given claims, but the all that exists as human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom is only the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth. That is both more than and less than the many given names and forms and claims that are the everything of the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth. Living as pure truth freedom and freedoms living as pure truth freedom and freedom pure truth, living within absolute freedom and whole pure truth, that must always remain living within only the single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now, wherein free breathing is still free breathing. It's still free breathing. The absolute freedom and whole pure truth of what it is to be free breathing within the all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth, that must always remain with me, the universal spirit of the individual all and the individual spirit of the universal all, living within only the free breathing single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now, wherein absolute freedom and whole pure truth still remain free breathing within the all that must always remain the single solitary, one and only, always the same, forever eternal, never changing, all of absolute freedom and whole pure truth, who is both more than and less than what has been called God, with either a capital G or not, within human history, and who is both more than and less than what is known as the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, whom I speak of now. For absolute freedom is both more and less than the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom, as whole pure truth is both less and more than the all of human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. So muscle testing can actually measure if what John has written and spoken for me here within this spirit release is human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom of muscle strength, or if what John and I spoke and wrote here within this spirit release is a human disease, weakness, false illusion of muscle weakness, as accurately measured by human beings who actually muscle test. And muscle testing must always be accurate muscle testing for the muscle tested measurement to be accurate. And muscle testing must always be done within the single solitary, one and only, always changing, forever eternal, never the same, momentary instant of the presently present now, for the measured muscle test to be accurate within the free breathing now. And muscle testing within the free breathing now is muscle testing with me and the all. And muscle testing with the all and me within the free breathing now is muscle testing that manifests the greatest human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom. And muscle testing that manifests the greatest human health, strength, pure truth, and freedom is muscle testing that can be accurately performed by every single free breathing human being who actually muscle tests. And therefore, now being, now be free, by now being free, to now become, pure truth and freedom, now becoming, free pure truth, and pure truth, freedom, freedom, freedom. Blessings to all. And God, and all bless, and the all bless us all. And accurately muscle test me on it. Really, do it accurately, scientifically, do it. Don't just take my word for it, accurately muscle test me on it. All this stuff. The all, the spirit, health, strength, freedom, pure truth, all that stuff. You got the muscle within you, and you won't even hurt a little pinky.